How's everybody doing today? Today we have for you my 2010 Lincoln Navigator L version, which is the long wheelbase, four-wheel drive. This truck is about as king of trucks as it gets as far as giant dinosaur, pollution, wasteful, like always at the fuel pump, giant big monster that's just shining like crazy and everybody wants it. At least I do. Or I did. It's a great truck, don't get me wrong, and I was using it for my business to haul large things around, and I found that I don't really do that so much. Like maybe a couple times, 3 times a year, I have to haul something big, and it just almost seems like it's not worth it. But this is my wife's truck. She loves this thing. It is, she feels like the king of the road, and on top of that, it's also big enough almost to haul all of her and our 2 daughters' things, and groceries and everything else, toys, babies, kids, that sort of thing. Well, anyway, so just a little bit about this truck, just to start you off with. I got it for just over 17,000 a few years ago now, and right now I just did a search today actually. Only 2 are for sale in the country with like similar condition, mileage, exact year sort of thing, being the top of the line version that it is. There's only 2 in the entire country, and they're going anywhere between one is like over 16.6 and the other one's 17, so it's about 16.5, 17,000 value still. I've had it for a few years and I got it for just over 17, so it's, as far as that goes, that's been phenomenal. Basically nothing has broken on this thing. We haven't fixed anything, just your regular maintenance stuff. I put new brakes on, rotors, and I think that's about it. I mean, changing oil and stuff, but that's been about it. So it's been very, very reliable. I kind of figured, a Ford would be reliable, and even if it's not, I mean, parts should be fairly cheap if it's mechanical. If it's something just Navigator related, like the power step that welcomes you into the car every time you open the door, helps you climb in, those things are, I think, not being made anymore exactly in this design, so I think it's just being able to buy it used. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure, I never really looked into it. I just heard somebody at Ford talking about that. Somebody was trying to buy the side step, and the guy was telling them they don't make it anymore, so good luck. So we'll see about that. They work. I mean, I grease them up once in a while. I have the grease that supposedly lasts a year, the WD-40 brand, or one of the versions of that, but I do it more often than that just in case, because once these things go out, they are pricey to replace, if it's motor, the step, or everything together. Anyway, it's a 5.4 liter V8, none of this V6 with a turbo stuff that they do these days. I get it, it's miles per gallon, it's environment. I enjoy the naturally aspirated engine, the naturally aspirated performance. That's what I love about the 5.4 liter. I mean, as far as the Escalade goes, I think they have a 6.0, so that's even cooler sounding. it's basically whatever. You're not really, I mean, I'm not really flying in this thing, so what's even the point? It's a cruiser, you know? Slow down and enjoy life. Anyway, made it to a 6-speed, so it's not, you know, the newest 9 speeds, but at least it's a 6. It's not a 4 like it was not too long ago. 310 horsepower, 365 foot-pounds of torque. And it has a ginormous 34-gallon fuel tank and gets about 2 miles to the gallon. I'm just joking about that, obviously, but it's actually rated at about 14 in the city and 20 on the highway. So, I mean, it's not hybrid numbers or anything, but I'd expect less, I would say. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So, because this is my wife's car, you find a whole bunch of a big mess in this thing. Stuff like this, the car seats, and the every little other thing, like your kids' hairbands, clips, food that who knows what year it's from. I had to clean it out before I could make this video, and that was like a couple hours ago. So 20-inch wheels, full chrome package everywhere, couple custom editions. Yeah, the chrome nose, that was another option. This thing is big. These 20-inch wheels look little on this car, and they're 20-inch wheels. So I started trying to make this video with thinking that I'm just gonna record it, but then I figured out that I have to clear out all the stuff that was in here, and then I saw how very dirty it is after having 2 kids destroy it. So please excuse the mess, not the mess, but the dirt everywhere. I tried to clean it up a little bit. That was 2 hours ago. So, and it's still really, really bad. So, but I'm gonna have you guys guess in the comments below how many hair clips I found in this thing. Like those large plastic hair clips of my wife's. Guess how many there are in this car just for her that she needs on a average basis. Leave the answer in the comments below. I'm gonna let you know at the end. So, this thing has the chrome roof rails, this nice little chrome strip that says Navigator on the bottom. It's very nice. It has the power step. Which you can see disappears like that. And opens like that. This is the back seat in here. So we've got a DVD thing going on. Up top, here's a quick view of the interior. Okay, that's the back, and that's the back. All right. There was these are not captain's chairs as they're called. We had the middle bench with storage in it, but my wife needed access to the third row, so I took it out. It was only on like 4 bolts, and that's what you see here. So now it's a lot easier to climb into the third row. Okay, moving right along. Rear end. There is a button right behind here. It opens up the trunk. So, since this is the L version, this comes with a full-sized trunk that you can even split in two. Put up a partition so you have, let's say, about 2 hands length in the first one, and kind of something like this in the front. It's very decent sized, and you know, it goes all the way up to the seats, and you still have this one. It's a big trunk, so then get to put these guys down. Right? So you have this. It's already like, wow. A jack, some sort of harness that's made in Mexico. Interesting. Wiring assembly, engine block heater extension. That's what that is. That's the plug I found under the car. Oh my gosh. Let me open this and see what it is, what kind of plug this is. As you can see, this part plugs in under the car. That one right there, and this one is a regular 3-prong that you can plug into an extension cord, run it to your house, and it connects to the car and it heats up the engine block. Very interesting. I saw the plug, this connection under the car, and I had absolutely no clue what that was. Now I know, and now you know. Another thing that's down here besides that is this, and you would think that this is not a big deal, but this is precisely the size because the fuel filler doesn't have a cap. You just fill it, close this, and you're on your way. This is a perfect fit to get something in there. So there you folks have it. This is not an extra storage, but it does store some very valuable stuff. Then here, we pull on this guy, pull on this guy, alright, and then we do cargo mode. Alright, so it becomes lower, it goes lower to the ground and matches the height of the back seat now when you do that. So if you do that on both sides, you've got yourself one of those. Yeah. That's a trunk. That is 3 rows of trunk. And, of course, it's power. And this goes up just like it would at any other position. Also, you have another option here. Right here. That does this. So you have that cargo mode, or you have this mode to hop into the back seat. All right. This is the front. As I've showed you before. On the inside, we have a fully loaded interior, retro type gauges, wooden steering wheel, but it's not the kind of wooden design I like, but I'm not mad at them. It's interesting. I'll give them that. With the silver surrounding it, with the buttons, it's very interesting. The big tree-sized wood trim piece on the door, chrome everything, throughout. It says Navigator right in the door handle, so that's pretty cool. Chrome exterior mirrors and everything. Let's see, what else do we have here? The mechanical clock. It's a nice touch. Navigation, backup camera. There is a module that I installed in here that bypasses the lockout when you drive. So you can watch a movie, put addresses into navigation while moving, view the backup camera at any moment. It's kind of a bypass sort of thing. It's
Nice idea, but I never really use it. I did at first, but it faded. It faded quickly. So, um, full climate control, 3 zone. So the entire rear is one whatever you set, one temperature. It is 4-wheel drive, so you have your full-time 4x4, which you only want to use if you're actually stuck or in really, really bad conditions. 4x4 auto is what you want when it's slippery uh, to the point of emergency, up to emergency. This is like emergency. This is like everything where you're thinking you're at risk, up to just before emergency. And 4x2 is dry, normal weather, even not heavy rain, that sort of thing. So this is the shifter. It's an interesting design as well. Cup holders, I kind of like for them to be hidden, but that's fine. I mean, they surrounded it with chrome, and what are you gonna do? And ashtray and charger. We have a regular glove box, which is, the finishes in this interior. They are not the greatest. Like, everything in here is plastic. Like, everything you lean on, you hear that? That's like leaning on something in here. This is, American quality. And this is their highest end as far as, as high as it gets as far as Ford is concerned. The biggest Lincoln, the most fully loaded long version, 4-wheel drive. This is as good as it gets. And, I gotta tell you, they're, trying. They got this THX certified surround sound something 600-watt stereo, which is okay. It was okay before, the speakers kind of, I think they're blown pretty much. It's not yet bad, but it's getting there. So it's a great truck. I love this truck. It's huge. It has moonroof, has the DVD TV package, and it's huge. I mean, look at this. This is from the front seat with the second seat folded down. You see that? Could be a limo. Just leave the middle row low and just ride like this, and you still have a full trunk behind that third row. So good stuff. And that is my compressor that just kicked in. So that probably means that there is a leak in the system. We're gonna have to plug the computer in and see what's going on here. I love this truck. It's been really good to us. It has the very good Bluetooth connection. It has the Microsoft Sync system, so it works very well as far as connecting your phone to your to the Bluetooth in the car. It works remarkably well. So this is a great truck, and it's huge, and it's a people hauler and whatever you want else hauler. I mean, you can build a house with the stuff you can fit into this thing. A couple trips to Home Depot, you gotta really want it or need it. It'd be better to need it, but you gotta really want it to get this thing. But this is not the same thing as a Explorer or Lincoln Aviator, whatever that lower one is. This is not the same. This is where you sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it pollutes. Um, what can I tell you? I care about that stuff. It's just this is it's a dinosaur. It's a dying breed, and I wanna appreciate it before they die off. They already, I mean, the newer ones from they're already V6s with turbos on them. What is a Navigator with a V6? Like, anybody who knows the Navigator knows that it comes from a place of large engine, beast mode, like, raw power, no super duper turbo chargers needed or anything like that. It was just that big V8. I mean, they're not very fast. It's a giant, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a rhinoceros on four wheels. It's gigantic. There's no doubting that. But it's a big engine. It has to be a big engine in a big car. How can it be anything different? So that's what I really love about this thing. And they really tried, This leather interior, the seats are soft, in some places. Like the headrest is like, I don't know if it's made of different material or what, but the dash is plastic or whatever that material is. It's like foam or whatever that part is made of right there. It's kind of soft. Not that soft, but you can, push into it. This, I'm not really sure if that's wood, I would question that. So, but it's a really nice truck. I do love this truck. But it's got its, positives and negatives. I think we're gonna maybe think about getting something else, but for now, we are enjoying this. This is our family hauler. So, thanks everybody for joining me today in my ramble about the Lincoln Navigator. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Later. So, it's time for that bonus footage. How many hair clips did my wife have and need in her car on a daily basis? 6. And this is not counting the children's hair clips. This is just one style of my wife's hair clips spread around the car. So there you have it, folks. If you guessed 6, you were correct. See ya.